Welcome everyone. Today we're going to solve some Leetcode problems. Actually, now we have easy problem which is related to tree topic. What we need to do here is just to compute nodes of the longest path from the root to the any of leaves. So we need to decide what the path of that tree is the longest and just return count of nodes which we traversed by going by that path. I think it's pretty easy. Here we should have 3 because the longest path here are 2 paths, is from 1 to 3 to 5 and from 1 to 3 to 6. The count of possible paths are the count of possible leaves. Therefore here we have 4 paths because we have 4 leaves. And the leaf is the node without any children. The children is listed here. Okay, how we are supposed to solve it? Actually, we will implement recursive function because it's native way to traverse the tree. We are going to traverse all the nodes because it's the one possible way how to know what the path is the biggest, because we need to know all the nodes and all of the paths. Therefore complexity will be n, whereas n is all count of all nodes. Okay, and to implement this function we need current node. For example, it can be 1, 3 or 5, and also we should keep counter of previously traversed node. For example, for 1, this counter would be equal to 0 because first node has no parents. And for third node we have its count is equal to 1 because we already traversed 1 to reach 3. And for fifth node we will have count is equal to 2 because to reach 5 we should traverse 3 and 1. Okay, let me implement this. First of all, we should define this function as it is. As I explained before, we have currently traversed node, and for this currently traversed node we should return the maximum path, the count of the nodes in the maximum path from this node to any of the leaves. And for sure we keep this count as a count of previously traversed nodes. And let me implement other things. First of all, we need to handle case when we got just empty node or node as null. For this one we should return max count is equal to root 0. We put here 0 because first node has no parents. And if node is equal to null, we return 0. But if node is not equal to null, and we can check whether it has children. We check whether children is not null and whether children has count bigger than 0. In that case, node are supposed to have children, and then we can traverse each children and add 1 to previously traversed count because we have already traversed this node before we got each of the children. And in that case, if children are null or equal to 0, we return count of previously traversed plus 1. Why? Because we already traversed this particular current node, and we should add it as a 1 to count of all previously traversed nodes. For example, in case of fifth node has no children at all. We can see it by that picture. And fifth node has 2 previously traversed nodes. It's 1 and 3. But actual path and actual count of traversed nodes should be 3 because we also need to compute this fifth node. Therefore we return count plus 1. But in case we have children. We just traverse each children and decide the maximum path for all of that children's. Okay. We compute max count of for particular child with count plus 1. Why? Because we should also compute this particular node in that counter. Also, we need to get the maximum of all of that child counters. Therefore, we put here maximum as current count. And if child count is bigger than maximum, any particular maximum, we just set maximum to that child count. And function itself should return that maximum. That's all. It should work. Now, let's try it. Sorry, we should reassign max in case it's less than child count, because we need to get maximum of that. Therefore, we should get bigger than maximum, than current maximum. Now it should work. Yes. Okay, this algorithm is actually called depth first search in graph algorithms. You can Google that, but the solution is easy as well as problem is. Thank you very much for your attention and goodbye.